and I would be like at different b-boys practices and such, and I would like really like check it out. But I just thought, girls didn't do it, so because I ain't see no girls do it,
Right.
but women don't ever think that. Young girls don't ever think that just because, you don't see any girls do it, that doesn't mean you could do it,
Right. Salute to the subscribers, those that live beyond the Cypher. We are here, episode 14, and we have the rare, what do I want to say, privilege of speaking to a young lady who, if we named all of her accolades, would take longer than the interview itself. So we just gonna say, what's up, Bgirl Macca? How you doing?
What's going on?
Chilling. Just you know. Now, Miss Macca, you are only the second female to come on our show, and the first American female, so it is a privilege to have you. And as always, I like to start where you start, right? So, where do you get into hip hop? And when I say get into, I know, I see it as an African American culture, so we don't necessarily get into it, but we do get exposed to it, and it becomes a part of our life more closely than just African American culture. So when does that happen for you?
Yeah. Well, first of all, why am I only the second female on your show?
That is a great question. Exactly. But here's the thing. You can't blame me. Let's turn this to these females that I have reached out to that have not yet gotten back to me. So,
see? Okay.
Yes.
Come on, ladies. Come on. You got to do better now. So
you heard it.
I understand how that is.
No doubt.
But no. Yeah, how did I get exposed to hip hop, or how did hip hop get exposed to me? Because it is an African American thing, right? But I would definitely say, I mean, my family, so like we say, it is an African American thing, so it just was within my family, as me being a youngster, so but more specifically, I would say it was so open within my family because I have a very artistic family, so my mother, she's a writer, she's an artist, and she did specifically when I was coming up, she was heavily focused on jazz poetry and such. And my stepdad at the time, he's a saxophonist, so just the open way for music to come into my space, was just open. So, but more specifically than that, when I was young, my older brothers, I have two older brothers, and they were MCs, when I was coming up. And my oldest brother, he's still an MC, but they were MCs, and he would also organize hip hop events. And this was when I was growing up in Germany. So was born in the US, but grew up in Germany as well. So so when I was growing up in Germany, he had a whole company that actually focused on organizing hip hop events. So not just breaking events, right, how we know it now, but full on hip hop events, so, and it had all of the elements involved. So I was just this like little young girl that was able to like, handle like the cash register, because it was a whole family,
Right.
I would be there helping, and, all of us would be involved, so so I was just able to experience hip hop culture in its essence, and be able to just soak it all in, right then and there. And I mean, when he started doing the events, I was like 11 years old or so, so that's when I just was starting to really take it all in for what it was. So
no doubt.
But yeah, that was my full-on introductory into the organized hip-hop culture, so so where it's like all elements and such, and it's this event that's really happening, but hip hop in its essence, like was just grown up yeah, within my family.
Now tell me if you identify with this as an African American like myself. So the culture of your parents when they're having their gatherings, bringing you in and be like, go and show that little dance that y'all be doing, and then you got to get out there and you just. Well, for me, I'm probably a little bit older than you. It was like I'm out there doing the running man, and you know what I'm saying.
Yo, you know, I'm gonna be glad. Like I was so shy, so extremely shy. You know, so
Wow.
when I was young, you know, so I would so in Germany because it's I mean, you know, you have Black Americans there, but it's a lot of Black, like Africans there, you know? So there's a lot of African culture, you know, that you experience out there. So, so my mom will always, because my mom has always been also an activist, you know? So she would organize a lot of activist gatherings as well, you know, and be involved in all of that over there. So I was like, she would always take us, you know, in my mind as a kid, I'll be like, oh, she's dragging us to another like cultural event. Oh my God. You know?
Right.
You know, I'm a kid, and in my mind, I'm like, Dad, I just want to have a normal child. Crap, you know, stupid. Right. But as a kid, you just like, oh my gosh, you know, so that's more so what I dealt with, you know. It's like being in all these cultural events and you know, my mom just like bringing us and, you know, us having to talk to people and, you know, and like she'll have us in like African dance classes and such, you know, and like, you know, have us show like little moves and such. But I was so shy, yo. I was so shy.
Wow.
Like, no, I don't want to do it. I want to do it. So yeah. But yeah, I think that's definitely a Black experience, you know, so.
No doubt. Have you ever revisited that with your mom? Like, remember how I was so shy? Now I'm breaking in front of the world.
My mom would talk about it all the time.
No doubt. That
like, is. Oh my gosh, you were so. Sorry.
No problem.
You were so, you know, you were so shy. And I look at you now, you know.
Right.
So, but I always danced, you know, like ever since I was young, I would just always dance and like, you know, hear the music and want to move, you know. So, but that shyness when it was like when other people were around me was still always there.
No doubt. And so when do you fast forward and you start to get into the actual breaking?
Yeah. So for me, so at the same time, like when I was really young, when I was like maybe 4 or 5 years old, my older brothers, they break too. You know, they used to break too. So and we were in Berlin, Germany at that time, you know.
Wow.
So I would see them do it, but you know, I was really young, so I couldn't really fathom or understand what was really going on, you know. So well, not like, you know, 4-year-olds now that are just like lazy everybody, you know?
Right. They know everything.
You know, like dang on it. But yeah, so when my brother started then hosting or organizing the actual hip hop events, he will have, you know, B-boys come out and do their thing as well. So, so yeah, I just started getting really fascinated, you know, like cause I always loved to dance, you know, right. So, just seeing them get down and such, and I didn't see any girls do it at that time, you know, it was just a whole bunch of boys that were getting down. So, yeah, so since we were all like, I was like, I think 13 at this point, you know, and things go faster in Germany anyway. You're like an adult at 18 and you start like, it's just everything's just faster. So,
right.
But so I was in clubs and all that stuff, you know, and we would just like friendships would grow and such. And I would be like at different B-boys practices and such. And I would like really like check it out. But I just thought, you know, girls didn't do it, you know, so because I ain't seen no girls do it, you know, right. Like, but women don't ever think that. Young girls don't ever think that just because, you know, you don't see any girls do it, that doesn't mean you could do it, you know. Right. But for me, it was just a different time then, you know. So I just was like, oh, I guess we don't do it, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so but that was my first like really experience of being like seeing in practices and seeing how, you know, how breakers like really, you know, own their craft, you know. So but when we moved back to the States in 2004 or 2003, sorry, I had already graduated high school, you know, at that time, and college wasn't, I was done with school. I just couldn't, you know, I couldn't do anymore. Like, woof,
Right.
I just couldn't.
That's funny.
So, so I was trying to figure out what to do, and I wanted to dance, you know, and we were in my grandma's, who was like at that time a little bit outside of Philly, like in a suburb outside of Philly. And I was like taking like hip hop classes, dance classes, but it was horrible. It was horrible. It was not hip hop, you know?
Right. Was it the
Yeah.
I usually judge it by the amount of bandanas and wristbands you see in the class.
Exactly.
No doubt.
Exactly. Woo, was woo, yeah.
Hi, and welcome to Video Jug. My name's Faith, and I'm going to be teaching you how to break dance. Okay, so with breakdance, we've got 3 different sections. To start with, you've got your footwork, which is anything stood up. Secondly, you've got your floor work, which is stuff on the floor, like more acrobatics. And thirdly, you've got your freeze right at the end. Okay, so today I'm going to show you some footwork. What we're going to do is we're going to take the action of forwards and backwards rocking motion. So we've got the front foot crossing in front, you rock back onto your back foot and step out to the side. Let's try it to the other side. Rock forward, take it back and step to the side. Okay, let's try that again.
But then we finally like moved into the city, into Philly, and I was just trying to figure out what to do. And I was 16. Yeah, I was 16 at that time. And I was like, damn, I really want to dance. And then I was looking through a newspaper. I just remember looking through a newspaper and seeing this ad in there, breaking class, you know, like breaking workshop, something, blah,
Right.
blah, blah. I was like, what? It was so random. It was so random. Right. I saw it in there and I was like, I want to go, you know, take the class. And, and yeah, and I just took the breaking class with Amani in Philadelphia at Susan Hess dance studio. I remember that. And yeah, and it started from there. Yeah.
Wow. And would you say, though you started breaking, you know, you're a little bit older and you're back in the States, did any of those German experiences play into your style as you start to develop? Like those memories of those practices and those B-boys and what they were doing?
You know what? I will honestly say no.
No? Okay.
It didn't. Yeah, it didn't. I think like because it's funny when I look and not to diss anybody, but like when I look back on it,
about to start dissing.
when you look back, you know, when you first start breaking, you think like everybody's so dope, and you know, like, oh man, this person is so ill, they're so dope, they're so this, you know. But then when you start to really comprehend and understand, you know,
right,
what's good and what's not, you're like
they were whack. No, I have a similar story because my first like face-to-face experience with people who could at least consider themselves B-boys is when I was actually in the military myself as well, and we were in Myrtle Beach, and I remember we were in this club, and my friends got into this breaking battle against this guy that was from Myrtle Beach, and I thought it was the most amazing thing that I had ever seen in my life, and I was just like, oh snap, I have to do this, right? But then fast forward a couple years and you've been doing it for a while and you start getting exposed to like the real B-boys, you're like, them dudes are whack, but they serve the purpose.
Yes,
right. Absolutely. They serve the purpose to create a lifelong B-boy, you know what I'm saying? So but anyway.
They got you excited, man. That's
exactly.
So
you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, yeah, for me, that's why I say I'm not, trying to diss nobody, because like yeah, at that time it got me excited, seeing them get down, seeing them spin on their heads, seeing them do what they did. So and they inspired me in that sense to like, yo, I want to do this, but damn, girls do it, but this is so dope, so it definitely served their purpose for sure. The way I break is obviously the way I break, and the way the femininity energy that I bring is my personal feminine energy, right?
No
doubt. But I want B-girls, or girls that come within breaking, to understand that
For more quality content from Beyond the Cypher with Illskillz, don't forget to press the like and subscribe buttons. Let us know how we're doing down in the comment section, and to make sure that you don't miss anything from the channel, smash that notification bell. We appreciate the love and support. Peace until the next episode.